Hello and welcome, my name is Vicky. Thanks so much for choosing to practice with me today in this vinyasa flow for happy hips. And the reason that I've called it that is because we're going to be really focusing on the hips and getting them moving in their full range of motion. So helping with mobility, flexibility, which in turn can help prevent back pains, can help with hamstring flexibility, all that good stuff. So we're going to start today standing at the top of your mat in Tadasana. So your feet can be hip distance apart or together with the big toe mounds touching in a small space between the heels. Let your arms naturally hang down by your sides. Bring a gentle engagement to the core and go ahead and close your eyes as you roll your shoulders up towards the ears and down and back. Take a big breath in through the nose and a big sigh through the mouth. Allowing yourself just a moment here to center yourself, to feel grounded at the start of your practice. Bringing your awareness to the breath, just noticing the sound of the air as it passes in and out through the nose. And you may choose to take a moment here just to set yourself an intention for the class, or perhaps even for the rest of your day, something positive. When you're ready, go ahead and blink open the eyes. And as you inhale, reach your arms up overhead, look up at the thumbs. Exhale, hinge at the hips, take a forward fold. You can have a bend through the knees here if you wish. Inhale, lift up halfway, shoulder blades draw towards one another as you look ahead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, soften the knees as you rise all the way up, palms come to touch. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, look up at the thumbs. Exhale, hinge at the hips as you swan dive forwards. Inhale, halfway lift, hands can come to the shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, palms come to touch. And hands to the heart center. Now if your feet are touching, step the feet so they are hip distance apart or slightly wider. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, twist to the right, sending your right arm back behind you, your left arm out in front as you gaze out over that right middle finger. Inhale, circle the arms overhead as you face the front. Exhale, twist the other way. Gaze out over your left middle finger. Inhale, the arms reach up as you face forwards. And from here, bring your left hand to your left hip. And as you exhale, reach to the left, sending your right hip, or both hips, over to the right. Side body stretch. Inhale, come back to the center, bring your right hand down to the right hip. Reach up with the left hand. As you exhale, reach your hips to the left, your upper body to the right. Come back to neutral, hands come to the heart. Find your Tadasana. Heel toe the feet into hip distance or big toe mounds touching. As you inhale, reach your arms up overhead, look up. And exhale, float down, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step back, downward facing dog. So first one of the day, allow yourself to ease in, maybe bumping the hips left and right, shaking out the head before making your way to stillness. Bringing your awareness back to the breath, breathing in, noticing how it feels in your hips as your hips lift up high. As you inhale, lift your right leg high and spread the toes. And as you exhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, coming into dragon pose. So keeping up on the hands here, and begin to send your body forwards and back using the ball of your left foot. So you're stretching the sole of that foot too, whilst feeling into the hips. Notice how this feels. Send the right leg back behind you, three-legged dog. And exhale, step the right foot through to the front in a low lunge position. So your foot is now in between the two hands. Drop the left leg and come to rise up in your low lunge. So you want your low lunge to be about 90-degree angle here. Bring your hands to rest on the right knee and imagine that your right heel and your left knee are magnetizing towards one another. Feel that activation through the glutes as you do so. Breathe. From here, float your hands down. Keep your hips lifted high as you begin to straighten the right leg as much as you can. Fold over the leg. As you inhale, bend the knee, come forwards. Exhale, straighten and fold, keeping those hips lifted. Same again, inhale to come forward, bending the knee. Exhale, send the hips back and fold. Bend the knee, tuck the left toes, lift the left knee and step back, downward facing dog. Push the mat away. Inhale, lift your left leg high, spread the toes, and exhale, step the left foot to the outside of the left hand, coming into your dragon pose on the other side. So same thing here, stay on the right toes, keeping the right knee lifted, and just send the body forwards and back, using the ball of your right foot. Noticing how this side feels, breathing into it. Take three-legged dog, sending that left leg behind you, and exhale, step it through between the hands, low lunge, right knee comes down, rest your hands on the left knee, finding that 90-degree angle again, and then magnetize left heel, right knee. Feeling the stability here in all of the supporting muscles. Float your hands down on either side of the left foot and straighten the left leg, keeping those hips lifted. So you might feel good here to lift the toes, coming onto that left heel. And then fold. And then coming through, bending the left knee, sending the body forwards. And exhale, lengthen and fold. Inhale to bend, exhale to lengthen. Coming forwards once more and stepping back, downward facing dog, bump the hips left and right. Before making your way into stillness. From here, walk the feet towards the hands and slowly rise all the way up, unraveling as you rise. Shoulders and head will be the last to lift. And from here we'll move through Sun Salutation B to warm the body. So reach the arms up overhead, and as you inhale, take chair pose, sit low. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back and lower down. Inhale for a cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forwards, warrior one. So your left foot the toes are pointing out about 45 degrees. Have your hips and your shoulders facing forwards. Breathe. We'll pause here for just a moment in our warrior one. On your next exhale, float the hands down, step it back and lower all the way down. Inhale, take cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, rise up, warrior one on the other side, pausing here. Making sure the entire sole of the right foot is connected to the mat. And as you exhale, float the hands down, lower all the way down, keeping those elbows close. And as you inhale, peel your heart up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, bend the knees deeply, walk, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, look ahead, shoulder blades draw towards one another, and exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, sit low. And when you're ready, make your way back to Tadasana. Hands come to the heart in prayer position. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead and look up. Exhale, float forward, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog, and then step your right foot forward to the outside edge of your right hand, taking dragon pose again, but this time lower the left knee. And you can choose to stay here with the arms straight and the hands down on the mat, or you can take it a little deeper, coming onto the forearms. So finding whichever variation best serves you today. Breathe into the hips. Bring your hands under the shoulders if you were on your forearms. Tuck the left toes, lift the left knee as you press into the mat, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to the outside edge of the left hand, taking dragon pose on the other side. Same thing here, lowering down to whichever version best suits you today. Notice if you are holding any tension in the face, or if you're holding the breath. See if you can let your facial features soften and let your breath come evenly. Using your breath as an anchor in these more challenging, intense poses. Come back onto the hands if you're not already. Lift the back knees, step back, downward facing dog. Big breath in through the nose. Big release through the mouth. Bend the knees deeply, walk, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift you up halfway, look ahead. Exhale, forward fold, and inhale, rise up, reach the arms up overhead, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart, Tadasana. From here, as you inhale, sit low, take chair pose. So making sure that your ribs are not flaring out, but instead keep those lower ribs tucking down. Breathe. Sit a little lower if you can, building some strength, feeling some heat. From here, rise up, bring your hands to the heart. Find your drishti as you shift your weight onto your left leg. And send your right leg back behind you, take warrior three. So you can keep a micro bend in the standing knee. And point your right toes down towards the mat. From here, float your left fingertips down to the mat, just the fingertips, so that they are slightly to the left of your shoulder. And then twist to the right. You can bring your right hand to your right hip, or you can lift your right hand up to the sky. Maybe you can even follow with your gaze. Breathe here in half moon pose. And then shift your gaze down to the mat. Bring your right hand down as your toes come to face down towards the mat. So you're still in kind of a warrior three, but with the hands down. And then begin to walk your fingertips back so they are in line with your toes as you lift your right leg high for a standing split, intending to draw your face closer to the shin. Breathe. And as you exhale, bend both knees as you come to lower down, bringing your right knee to the outside edge of your left foot. And we'll come into a twist. So float your left hand back behind you. Inhale, lift your right arm high. And exhale, hook the elbow as you twist, look out over your left shoulder. And you can choose to stay right here or take a bind if that's in your practice. Breathe. Turn to face the front of your mat, unravel your arms, place the hands down so the fingers are in line with the toes, and press your way back to your standing split. Pausing here for just a moment before lowering the right foot back to a lunge position. Plant the hands and step back for a downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through the nose and a big sigh through the mouth. Bend the knees deeply, walk, step or hop to the front. Inhale, lift up halfway and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach your arms up high. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, take chair pose, sit low. As you inhale, rise up, bring your hands to your heart center. Shift your weight onto your right leg this time. As you take warrior three, send the left leg back behind you. Full even breathing. From here, float your right fingertips down to the ground, slightly out to the right of your shoulder, and turn to look out to the left as you twist, stacking the left hip over the right. Option for your left hand to be on your left hip, or to reach the hand up to the sky, half moon pose. Gaze down at the mat, lower your left hand down, point your left toes down as you begin to walk the fingertips so they are in line with your toes, and take standing split on the other side. Drawing your head close to the shin as you lift your left leg as high as you can. And as you exhale, bend both knees, send your left knee to the outside edge of the right foot, coming to your seated twist. Bring your right hand back behind you. Inhale, reach up with the left hand, and exhale, hook the elbow. Gaze out over your right shoulder. Option to take a bind. Turn to face the front, release your arms so that your fingertips come down in line with the toes, and make your way back to your standing split. And exhale, come to your high lunge position with the hands down on the mat. Step it back, downward facing dog. Just pedal through the legs, breathing into the hips and the hamstrings. Working super hard for you today. Before finding stillness. From here, lower down onto the knees and come to sit down on the mat. From here, bring your right knee down onto the ground with the leg bent and stack the left knee on top. So you're crossing your legs and bringing the feet down on either side of your hips. You can just rest the hands on the feet here, add in some gentle movement if that feels good, maybe swaying left and right, noticing what's going on in the hips. And then bring the hands down in front of you and begin to fold as much as feels good for you. So be really mindful here. You may find that you don't need to come forward too much, or you may feel more open. So just honor what your body needs. Make your way back to sit tall. And we'll take it to the other side. So this time, left knee underneath, right knee comes on top. Stacking the knees. Finding a little bit of movement again, maybe making some figure eights with the shoulders. Whatever comes naturally to you, or you can just be still if you prefer. And then when you're ready, the hands come down in front. Take your fold, going as far as feels good for you. Come back to sit tall, and we'll transition into fire log pose. So to do that, bring the right leg down on the mat with the knee bent, and bring the shin so that it's parallel with the edge of your mat. And then place the left ankle on top of the right knee, and your left knee is over your right ankle. So you're making a triangle shape. When you look down, you should see a triangle shape, and if you don't, you can press into the mat to lift the hips, helping you guide your way into that shape. Make sure that your left foot is flexed just to protect the ankle. And breathe. So you may find that there's a big space between the knee and the ankle. That's fine, it just means that you're feeling tight today. You can choose to stay right here, or to take it a little deeper, you can begin to walk the hands and the upper body forwards and fold. Again, pausing when you find your edge. And breathe, just notice what's going on. Sometimes these intense hip stretching poses can bring up a lot of emotion, maybe frustration or different emotions. So just notice what's coming up for you today, and breathe through it. Try not to pass any judgment. Just be present with yourself. Begin to walk the hands back as you come to sit tall. Place both feet down and out wide, and we'll just window wiper the knees, sending them one way and then the other, finding a release. And then take it to the other side. So this time your left shin comes down first, parallel with the edge of your mat, and then place the right ankle onto the right knee. So your right knee is over the left ankle. Press into the ground to find your triangle shape. And again, you can pause right here, or you can begin to fold. And I'll be honest with you, this pose used to make me feel so angry and frustrated. It still does sometimes. You just have to learn to be there with yourself. So just witness what's going on without trying to change anything. Just proving to yourself that you can move through those negative emotions. Bring it back to the breath. Make your way back to a seated position. Guide your foot down to the mat, take the feet out wide, and we'll window wiper again. Going one way and then the other. And then come to face the front of your mat again. And come to lie all the way down. Take your time. And when you get there, bring the feet down with the knees bent, and then just heel toe the feet so they're as wide as the edges of your mat. And let your knees droop in to touch one another. Bring your hands to just rest on the belly, close the eyes. Take a moment here as you bring your awareness to the hips and just notice what you notice. Maybe you can feel the energy moving around. Maybe they feel more stretched than they did at the beginning of the practice. And then heel toe the feet back to hip distance apart. Stack your knees over the ankles and then lengthen the legs down on the mat. Take the feet out nice and wide. Hands can stay resting on the belly, or you can bring the hands off the mat with the palms facing up. Coming into Shavasana, our resting pose. Taking a big breath in through the nose, fill the lungs up completely. And exhale, empty completely through the mouth. Feel yourself melting into your Shavasana. A sense of heaviness washing over you. Giving yourself full permission to just pause here. Being here without doing anything. Soaking up all the good work that your body has just done. So we'll be here for just a few moments, and I'll gently guide you back when Shavasana is complete. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, inviting a deeper breath into the body, becoming aware of your surroundings once more. Keeping the eyes closed for now. Take a big stretch, reach the arms up overhead. And then draw your knees in towards your chest, give yourself a great big hug. Just allowing yourself a moment before we transition back out of our Shavasana. Maybe rock side to side if that feels good. Before slowly making your way back to a comfortable seat on your mat. And you can keep the eyes closed for now. Bring your hands to your heart in prayer position and gently bow your head, taking a moment to feel grateful for your yoga practice, for your body, for giving you this space to move, and for your well-being, your commitment to working on your well-being, being there and showing up for yourself. And seal in your practice. Namaste.